They don't know it, but I'm not like, oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
All of a sudden, I didn't see them, but now I'm itching.
I know, and I
I
can
don't,
like feel it.
but I don't see them. I don't see them.
Well, when you get, but it's like the thought of them, I think, but then you'll feel them. It has the majority of them.
Yeah, that's what's on the phone, remember? She's like, oh,
Yeah, Christy's office has a good majority of them.
So it must be coming in directly from that.
It's like from the vent. It started with the construction work.
well, and they could be more drawn to hers too, because it's natural.
It could be. Yeah, it could be. I never thought of it that way. You have it on. Oh, I see. Okay, good.
Are we ready? Let's go. Hello, everybody. Good morning. Still the morning time? Okay, so some exciting news, just so you guys know. I just flew back yesterday from San Jose. California Association of Realtors is doing 3 big events. They call it AI Now. I don't know if any of you guys are aware, but the first event was sold out. I was in Boston for that event. Yesterday's event I was a part of. That event was also sold out. That was in San Jose. Santa Clara University is where we held the event. And I'll tell you that it was a long day. It was 5 hours worth of training content, and I closed it out. And I really believe that we had the strongest session, and that's just because the audience told me, like, you had the strongest session, without a doubt. I feel like so much of what I was there to try to learn, here's the biggest challenge. I feel like I'm a little bit more tech savvy than most agents. I even told my wife, I'm like, I was listening intently and I was trying to implement certain things that were being shown, but there was just pieces of the puzzle being disconnected. So when I went up in front of the audience, I said to them, look, there's a lot of great speakers today. And I would say a lot of these speakers are a lot smarter than I am because they are complex with what they're talking about. But I don't like difficult things because if it's difficult, I'll never do it. And I know that that's the same for most agents. So I said, raise your hand if you know how to copy and paste. And of course, everybody raised their hand and I'm like, this is what we're gonna make it real simple. Now, do you remember when I was here last week, I was talking about, and I normally don't stand behind a table, but I see that you have a camera on, so I don't know if I freely move around if I'll be in frame. So that's why I'll just stand here. But do you remember last time I was here, what was I talking about? I was talking about leveraging ChatGPT for your listings. Has anybody done that? Has anybody ran the 4 prompts that I gave you for a listing?
I did use Gamma, and I don't remember the other name, but I did actually.
Menace?
Menace, I think.
Okay.
And I actually created a CMA.
Oh, nice.
I sent right away, so it was very useful, and I played with it, so explored the different options, so it was.
Okay, so one person in this room. So who did not do it? Raise your hand. Thank you. I have one honest person, because either you did it or you didn't do it, and some of you aren't raising your hands. So, okay, raise your hands if you did do it. 2 people. And then, so nobody else did it. Now, why did we not try it?
I use Grok.
Okay, Grok is great. I love Grok.
That's the only one I use.
But did you try running the 4 prompts on your own home, any listing, a listing that you guys have in the works? Okay, tell me, for those who did not, tell me why you did not try it. Well, that's a great excuse.
Yeah, but I work in mortgage, so it's
Okay.
informative, so
So the thing I would do for you as a mortgage loan officer is I'll tell you, take what I show you and go sit with a realtor and run it and watch what happens. And we're growing our business right now in Denver, Colorado. And I just connected with a broker. I like the broker. I started showing him some stuff. We're like blowing up our business in Denver right now just for loans, which is crazy, but how are we doing it? I'm sitting there telling these realtors, I'm not gonna just sit here and be a loan officer that answers your calls and handles a loan. Any loan officer that carries their weight should be able to do that. That's like basic. It's like a realtor doing professional photos to me. You don't get a pat on the back, that's your job. How can I be a true partner? What if I can help you become stronger when it comes to your listing presentations? So, okay, thank you for that. How about any of you who are agents who have not tried it? Why have you not ran the prompts?
Because it's easy for me to just write up a thing on the MLS And sometimes I see them, you can tell that they were AI generated, it wasn't, don't talk like that, or filters, So I just feel like I did, but I do wanna try it though, I really wanna try it, and then I can tweak it, to make it sound like me.
So I'll tell you, one time I did a training at the Citrus Valley Board. Are you guys all members of CBAR? And I was talking about video marketing, and we had a packed house that day, and I asked, why are you not doing video? And some realtor raised her hand and she said, I don't like video. And I was like, do you buy every house you sell? She said, what? And I said, simple question, do you buy every house that you sell, that you list? And she said, of course not. And I was like, nobody cares that you don't like video. My point is this, don't set your own limitations, because of what you just said. I know it's AI. I would go like this. And you might know it's AI, but it's not about what you think. It's about how are you going to sit there and convey your value to a client, because the MLS does not offer what I showed you guys last time. It doesn't. I have all the same tools that you do. We go in, we type in our numbers, we produce a CMA. You do that, and 99% of other real estate agents do the same. So you don't want to show up to the party sounding like. Now, if you're only dealing with your own clients and you're not competing against another realtor, it's not a big deal because it's just you. But I got a listing right now that I'm signing on Friday. I got a referral, and this guy says to me, I was referred to you, but I am interviewing a few realtors. I was like, not a problem, as you should. I'm a big believer. The more that you interview, the more you're gonna realize that we're different in what we do. Just talking to him about his area, his community, the major employers, that right there is already sealed the deal. It's sealed the deal because when I educated him just simply through a Zoom meeting, that's where he's like, you are so knowledgeable of my area and my market. Yes.
Okay, I thought it was just like for the description.
No,
but it's for the CMA.
I didn't even talk about the description last time.
Oh, so you can do it for a CMA.
I talked about the description over 3 years ago. It's so old that I don't even bring it up because I'm assuming every realtor in America is using ChatGPT for the description.
But you can use it for the CMA. That's what you were saying.
So, yes. And here's why I want to reiterate this point. Here's what I want to make sure we don't do. Because then otherwise, Jennifer, you might as well just save your money when it comes to hiring me, right? I don't want to be a trainer that shows you something that you look at it and you're like, that's really cool, but you don't do anything with it.
We don't want to be the part of the, what is it, the 90-10 rule in society where you could teach things, and then 1 out of 10 will implement it, maybe.
Yeah.
That's like the standard, rule of society.
You're 100% correct. I had somebody yesterday ask me, John, what happens if all of us start doing the same thing that you're showing us? I was like, here's the good news. It'll never happen. I've been doing this for over 20 years and I know it will never happen, but I want to reiterate these points. So this is prompt number 1. Feel free to take a photo of it, okay? Prompt number 1 is just about the value of a property. So I would like for all of you to try running this prompt on a listing that you either have in the works, something that's not officially listed just yet, or maybe do it on your own home. Because then if you don't have a listing you're working on, you can at least try it on your property. And it is, please provide an estimated value range for the address. Now, I'm giving as many details of the property as possible. I'm not gonna spend too much time here because we already went through this, but here's what I wanna show you. Prompt number 1 is about the value. Prompt number 2 is about the community, and this is a key thing. When you're speaking to a seller, when I was talking to that seller who says, John, I'm gonna interview a few realtors, and I said, you should. I had already ran the information for the city of Jurupa Valley, because in my example, it's actually a listing in Jurupa Valley. So I had just left Jurupa Valley for another listing that we just listed yesterday. It went live online yesterday. So when this new seller called me, he's not even connected to the other people. My wife said, oh, you should have told him that he should have called you an hour ago. We were just in Jurupa Valley. But when I start talking to him about his area, his community, all the things that benefit the locals in Jurupa Valley, that's where he was like, man, you really know my market. That's this one here. Yes.
I just wanted to share with in general about earning. So I use with this not only like with prospective sellers, but also with partners. Sometimes community organizations reach out and like, okay, we have this situation. I have used, what we learned last time in really big, came up with a really nice presentation. The feedback that I got was that they were impressed. How quickly I did it, and the presentation was really sharp. So just kind of practice it, send it to maybe their existing, clients, just like a little market update type thing. And I think it's a good piece of conversation, like, you can
Yeah.
start a conversation, so like.
And I think the hardest part is just doing it. You did it. And once you did it, I'm wondering, did you realize like, oh wow, this is actually a lot easier than I thought?
It is, it was so simple, I mean, because we already had the prompts, and coming up with the prompt, we already have everything, we just needed to plug it in
Right.
to make it specific to the address.
Yep.
And to the details.
So what I would ask you, please, while we're here, make sure set up an account with ChatGPT. Who already has access to ChatGPT from your cell phone? Okay, not yet?
I think I do.
How about you, Miss? You got it as well?
I have one question though about that, since, I'm just using Grok right now. I'm Jennifer's real estate recruiter,
Sure.
so I have thousands of followers on Instagram and TikTok, and I basically just have my flyer on there, contact information, your company. So I need to see how to push out to all these agents through Grok or whoever.
So I don't think Grok will help you push out as much as it will be very beneficial and useful for asking Grok as an example. Here's what you could do. I'll give you two different angles. And realtors, you can do the same thing, just different target market. You can go on to Grok and you can say, I'm a recruiter. I have thousands of real estate agents that I'm already connected with on Facebook and Instagram. I need to find the most efficient way in order for me to distribute my information to them because I want to convey that they should come and work for us. And then at that point, Grok will probably have a back and forth conversation with you, but what you are gonna most likely want is if these real estate agents are connected to you, I would throw them into some sort of a campaign that you can text content to them. Also, in addition to that, I'd really push the video agenda as well. I've done a lot of work on the recruitment side with a lot of companies. And we as real estate agents, you guys know, especially if you're closing deals, you get bombarded a lot by recruiters. You get reached out to a lot. But there's not too many people in this business who convey their value in a consistent way. And it's not so salesy as much as it is just, here's who we are, here's our culture, here's the value that we bring to you. And so that is, I would say, we could have a sidebar conversation about things that you can do, and I'd be more than happy to do that for you, just on behalf of the value that I want to make sure I bring to your organization. But for Century 21 and Coldwell Banker specifically, I did an event with 128 broker owners, managers throughout the country, and then I just did one with 84 broker owner managers for Coldwell, and we got some really great results there. So prompt number 2, remember, it's about the community. Prompt number 3 is of what? About the school district.
Yeah.
So this is about the schools. Because I'm gonna show you now we're gonna bring it all together for a new listing that just hit the market yesterday. When I was here last time, I told you guys this was in the works. But I just wanted to show you the after effect, because if we just take one key example, you can replicate the process. So it's about the school districts. It says, give me information relevant to the school district and schools for this property, include school district highlights, programs, achievements, and overall reputations. And this is prompt number 4, my favorite one, which is the economics. This is the one that has been turning a lot of heads when I'm speaking to sellers. I'm talking about putting sellers in a position where they just feel so confident in talking to me. My client who pushed me off originally because she wanted to list with another realtor has now become one of my biggest fans, and you'll see it. It's actually really cool just to kind of see how I was able to turn her frown upside down. Because remember, once we run these prompts, what we're gonna then ask ChatGPT to do, or you can even do this, I know agents have ran it with Claude. I don't know of anybody who's ran it with Grok, but I would say just try each and every one of them. For me personally, ChatGPT has been my personal favorite on the analysis of a property. I use Grok, I use pretty much every different AI platform that I can get my hands on, and I feel like every one of them has certain things that they do better. When it comes to property analysis, right now, I'm still the biggest fan of ChatGPT. And so now when it comes down to gathering all the info, then remember, the last thing we do is we say this, okay, ChatGPT or Grok, whoever it is, you did all the homework for me, now I need you to organize it. I want you to organize it for me because I want to be able to deliver this to my clients. So I asked everybody to have access to ChatGPT because I want to do a scenario here with you. The second account that I would like for you to do is I would love for you to create an account with Gamma. So if you don't have access to Gamma, pull up your cell phones and go to Gamma, type in GAMMA.app. So Gamma, GAMMA.app. You can,
In the app
it's in the App Store, or you can go directly to the website. So you can do either or. I'm gonna use the website for my example today. So you can just go to gamma.app, GAMMA.app, click create an account. It gives you the option, would you like to set this up with your Gmail account? Anytime it gives me an option to set up with Gmail, I always do that because I don't want more passwords to have to remember. All I need is a Gmail password and I can get right in. So Gamma, you guys see it right here? GAMMA.app.
Just Gamma or Gamma AI?
Let me see. Are you on
Just
that?
Gamma or Gamma AI?
Type in .app. So gamma.app and then go directly there. Okay, go ahead and go right there. Perfect. Now, when you go there, go ahead and create an account. And I'll give you time to create an account. And while you're creating the account, I'm going to give you the net effect of this story, okay? So do you remember last time I was here, I told you about my 99-year-old neighbor? Yes? Okay, 99-year-old neighbor, passed away in February. Property's been vacant for 2 years. And I had already tried talking to the daughter. The daughter was the one that had initially shut me down, right? Did not want to engage in conversation. And I just want to bring this all back so that way you guys can remember what this looked like. I had a conversation with the client, told her I would love the opportunity to be able to have a discussion about selling their home. This was 2 years ago. If you guys look at the date, June 18th, 2024. And when I first spoke to her, she gave me her business card, or I gave her my business card, and she said to me that they had already had a family realtor that they were going to work with. I was able to get her phone number because I said, you know what I would love to do? I'd love to just shoot you over a text. I'd like to send you a video just so I can share a little bit more about the value I can bring. So look at my text right here. This is the message that I sent her. What did I include in my text that most real estate agents would never include? A video. Now, I'm a big proponent of video because every realtor you talk to is going to say that they're great at what they do. It's one thing for us to say it, it's another thing for our clients to say it. Have you ever talked to a realtor who is writing an offer on your property? And that realtor says, hey, Jennifer, yes, if you accept my offer, I just want to give you a heads up. Good luck on trying to get a hold of me after 4 p.m. because after that, I stop answering my calls. Like, a realtor's not going to say that, right? We all put our best face forward. But what I have here is I actually have a client who's talking about how great of a job I did for him. Regardless of me sending this, she still ignored me. What did she say? Thanks, to be honest, we have a family friend who will be our realtor. I don't want to waste your time. Thank you for your understanding. I responded, it's not a waste of my time. I'd just like to share with you a few key ways as to how I could potentially help you net more money. That was June 18th, no response. July 12th, keep in mind, I'm calling her in between. Not trying to be a bug, so it's not like I'm blowing her up every day, but every time I call her, she just sends me right to voicemail. You know when somebody sends you to voicemail because it just rings like a half a time or 1.5 times and you're sent to voicemail? That was her to me. So hi, Karine, I hope you don't mind me texting. I wanted to throw this out. I have a fully qualified buyer. I know you want to sell the house. I have a fully qualified buyer. And what does she say? Not now, sorry. I reach back on out again, and she says, not ready to do anything yet. We're going to probably live there for a year. So then the house is sitting vacant for approximately 2 years, and then I see some movement at the house. Nobody's been at that house for 2 years. All of a sudden, I saw the garage door up, but here's what I did beforehand. I took prompt number 1 that I just showed you, and I ran it, and I just wrote in her address. I didn't talk about any upgrades because I didn't have any information. I never walked in the home. So all I did was tell ChatGPT, give me an estimated property value for this address. Most likely, the home is not upgraded. I did not say I'm going to upload photos of your home because I didn't have any photos. I said, give me 3 to 5 comparable sales and give me the differences, the similarities, yada, yada. I ran prompt 1, prompt 2, tell me about the area. Prompt 3, tell me about the schools. Prompt 4, tell me about the major employers in the area. After I did that, organized the information, and then I used Manus to create a presentation. See this presentation right here? I texted it to her. So now I see movement outside. I see the garage door open. I call. And that's when I said, hey, Karine, this is John Reyes. I'm reaching on out. I felt like I just needed to reach out one more time just to see if you're interested in talking to me about selling your home. And this is where Green had shut me down again to say, John, I've already told you that we have a real estate agent. Do you guys recall? How did I diffuse that situation? How would you diffuse that situation? So let's just say you call the client and the client says to you, a little angrily, I've already told you that I have a real estate agent that will be selling this home. How do we diffuse that? What's the best way, do you think? Or what's an effective way, I should say? Were you gonna say something?
Okay, I would probably say, that's great, not a problem, I just have information to share. Give it to them.
Okay, good, I like that. I like that approach. Let me just give it to you. Feel free to share it with them. That's a very non-threatening approach. Like that. What else would you guys do? What would you do?
I would say, I don't know, familiar with the area and I just wanted to point out a few, things that are happening right now that might help get a great value for your property.
Okay. So now, I like where you're going with this. Let me tell you my approach. I'm not saying my approach is the best approach, but I'll tell you, every time that I've tried this approach, it's worked every time. And what I want to do is this. All I want to do is to further engage, to give me an opportunity to talk more. Because if I can increase my communication, I should therefore be able to increase my potential likability. And also, I should be able to enhance my agreement, meaning that we're on the same page. At least they start thinking, this guy's a little valuable. So here's my approach. I don't want to just come out with, I have information about the area, because they just told me they have a realtor. So now I'm saying, like, what, your realtor doesn't have information about the area? What if her realtor lives in Ontario as well? So what I said is this. I 100% understand and I completely respect your sense of loyalty that you have to your real estate agents. In fact, I would hope that my clients would have the same sense of loyalty to me. That is not the first time I've used that line over X amount of years. And the reason I do that is because when I say I completely get it, I understand, I'm being respectful, I would hope my clients would have the same to me. There's nothing to combat. There's nothing that they can say, or I'm not triggering them to say, well, what if I could make you more money? Because now what you're saying is that my realtor that I told you I already have is not capable of making me more money, right? I just don't want to come. So I just said, the sense of loyalty, I would hope my clients would be just as loyal to me. If anything, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, we have a large influx of buyers that are coming in from the Los Angeles area. And a lot of these buyers have no clue what the city of Ontario has to offer. And if anything, feel free to share this information with your realtor. That's why I like your approach, because I would do the same thing. Feel free to share this information with your agent. Anything I give you, just give it to them. In fact, Corrine, I just sent you a text right now. Do you mind taking a look at your text? What did I do? Prompt 1, 2, 3, 4, ChatGPT, organize, and then either use Gamma or Manus, either one. Manus costs money. Remember, Manus is not cheap. It's $40 a month. It's one of the more expensive ones. So if you like that one, use it. But honestly, I'll tell you, Gamma's been fine. I mean, I only started using Manus because I like to make my stuff look a little cooler. It's like putting rims on your car, right? So I just want to make it look a little bit nicer, so I'll pay the $40. But if you don't want to, Gamma's actually free. You have X amount of presentations that you can do. I think it's 12 per month that you could do, maybe 10, something like that. So run it through Gamma, and then you guys know the response from there. After I showed her the visual, she said, you did all this work for me, invited me to the house. The next day, gave me 32 questions to answer. 32 questions. Here was question number 1. What is your list to sell ratio? Question number 2, how many homes have you sold in the city of Ontario in the last 12 calendar months? Question number 3, how many homes have you sold in Ontario in your career? Question number 4, how many homes have you sold overall in the last 12 months? Those were the first 4 of 32 questions. Where do you think she got these questions? ChatGPT or some AI. I told you, my client, the owner of the home passed away at 99. So how old do you think her daughter is? At least
60.
At least 60. She probably didn't have her after 40. The reason I say this is because what I hear from realtors sometimes is, oh, John, you deal with a bunch of tech-savvy clients. No. Clients are just becoming a lot more comfortable with technology. Okay, that's all it is. So and it's probably funny because I'm thinking ChatGPT probably gave her 32 questions and said, choose 5. She just copied and pasted all 32 for me. So now Corrine says, after I met with her, after I submitted my formal proposal, then she says also, if you'd like to send over your contract, I'm guessing, realtor, we should make it official, winky face emoji. This is my new listing. You guys can look it up online. It just hit the market yesterday, 1526 North Amber Court in Ontario. Now, how many of you do video tours or video when you sell houses? Okay, give me some insight. What exactly do you do? You've worked with us before. Yeah, I was gonna say, I'll make it simple. So she'll hire us in order to create videos of the house. What do you do?
I hire a professional photographer.
Excellent.
Video and pictures and drones.
So like they go through the house and they do video. Are you ever on video or do you put yourself on video?
If I'm doing it impromptu sometimes, but.
Not in like the professional production? How about you?
I do.
So one area that I think is just like a huge opportunity is for you to become more comfortable with being on video. Think about it this way, ladies and gentlemen, think about it from this perspective. Does it hurt you if you're selling a beautiful property and you're on video, even if it's only for 30 seconds introducing the home? And 15 seconds closing it out to say, if you'd like to schedule your very own private tour, please give me a call. I'd love the opportunity to work with you. If you associate yourself with a great video and you're on video, what do you think that does to your brand? What happens when you show up at a listing presentation and you have all this information and then you say, here's an example of what I'll do in order to promote your home? If we're talking about enhancing your brand, it's client perception. People start looking at you differently, right? It's part of the reason why you want to show up and be professional in the first place. So I do have a video that I want to show you. This is a video that I made of her home here. This is the one that's going on our social media. What if you were to own a home on a quiet cul-de-sac and enjoy over 1,700 square feet of living space on over a 10,000 square foot lot and still be just minutes away from what makes Ontario, California one of the fastest growing cities in the state? Welcome to 1526 North Amber Court. Who do you think came up with that opening? ChatGPT. ChatGPT gave me that opening. Now, when you first walk in through the double entry doors, you're going to walk right in to the formal living room. Now, it's large. You have all the room in the world to do whatever you'd like. Entertain your guests, and you have this beautiful, stunning window which allows natural light and, of course, gives you a view of your beautiful backyard. And look at this stunning, large-sized fireplace. This is original from the 1960s. And under the flooring here, under the carpet, you have original hardwood flooring, which is throughout most of the home. Now, this is a move-in ready home. These cabinets are original from the 60s, but at the same time, they've been freshly painted and they are in great condition. Talk about a home that's been truly taken care of. Now, one of my favorite features of this home is the flexibility. You have the space if you want more of a formal eating place, but at the same time, you also have more of a formal dining room area. And what I'll tell you, this is one of my favorite features right here. I'll stop there. So now, here's a couple things. When I recorded this production, I was in a bit of a haste because I had another appointment scheduled. And the videographer, he was on time. I had him locked in, but in order to book this next appointment, there was limited flexibility. So I was like, is there any way I could push it off an extra 30 minutes? And they're like, no, it's either this time or it's not. And it was a very important appointment. So I even told the videographer, I'm really short on time. Let's just see if we can get this done. And when it all came to it, I think there's an element of sometimes we try to perfect things so much that we don't want to promote it or post it. When I'm doing the video, I know that I could even do it better. Like even when I'm saying certain things, I'm like, I should have said this or I should have said that. I'm like, screw it, just roll with it because we're on a time frame. And so I would just say that sometimes you're going to have to adopt that as well, because when it was all said and done, my client, the one that said, John, I already told you I have a real estate agent, she posted the video on her Facebook, and look at what this is directly from her. This is Kareem. You're creating a fan base with my Facebook friends. Comments on your video. Look at this one. John Reyes was a great choice to use as your realtor. Well, that's nice, Susan. She's never met me. I've never met her. How about this one? Very nicely done. Great choice for a realtor. How about this one? Very nicely done. What do they charge to make videos like this? So now who's become a fan of mine? The same lady that would send me to voicemail when I called. And so you should all have that videographer in your back pocket. And I think the big thing about it is that if you do your job and connect with enough people, you'll notice that they're not that expensive to do. When you spend $500 and you get, I mean, that's cheaper than from when we worked together, because the technology has made it where people can create this content much more efficiently. I hire people out for every job that I don't specialize in. So if you are that person that's a do-it-yourselfer, just think about it this way. Remember, when you close a deal, you have a comment in your paycheck and you usually have 5 figures. Spend that money on productions like this because it's not only more efficient, but it gives you more marketing resources to use as well. So did everybody create an account with Gamma? Yes, okay, so let's go ahead and go directly to Gamma right now. Pull up Gamma on your device.
It's okay, I'll just do it later.
Okay, so raise your hand if you're actually able to access Gamma right now on your phone so we could do a live demo on this. Okay.
I could do it on my app.
You okay, try the app. Yeah, do the app.
But then I would have to do it on my computer too, right?
No, you don't. So Gamma, the app is newer. So I've always ran it on the website, but I know that I saw the app because an agent told me about it. They're like, oh, I got the Gamma app. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I've always used it directly off the website. So either access it directly through the website or your app. But I'm going to run it directly right now. I'm going to run it on the website. I just want to show you how simple and easy this is. So right here where it says create new with AI, this is once I create my account. We're going to tap right here where it says create new with AI. And then from here, for those of you who are following along, you're going to have 4 options over here, okay? We're not going to focus on these 2 at all. Ignore these 2. We'll focus just on these 2 right here. The one we're going to work with today is this one, generate from a 1-line prompt. So now when I tap here on generate with a 1-line prompt, it now asks me, describe what you would like to make. So how about we create a presentation for a first-time homebuyer? Let's do that. So let's use this. I want to create a presentation for a first-time homebuyer. Now, if we want to make it more specific, we can actually say, I want to create a presentation for a first-time homebuyer who is using their VA loan. I want to create a presentation for a home buyer that also needs to sell a house, but you get the point. It's 1 line. What do you want to create? I want to create a presentation for a first-time home buyer. And once we have that, we're going to tap in the middle where it says generate outline. So for all of you who are following along, select, go to Gamma, open it up, create new with AI, and then choose create with a 1-line prompt. And then type in whatever you want. Presentation for a seller, presentation for a home buyer, and then this is the outline that the AI from Gamma gives us. From renting to owning your first home roadmap. That's the title. Next, the why, investing in your future, building equity instead of paying a landlord, leveraging potential tax benefits and long-term financial security. How about the emotional payoff, pride of ownership and a space to call your own? You get the point, right? So if we go through the reality check, are you ready? Financial foundation, the pre-approval process, assembling your team, the hunt, wants versus needs, the offer and inspection, navigating the closing, welcome home, your first chapter. So we just went through, and in 1 line, we were given this outline. Do you feel that this is a well-structured outline for a first-time homebuyer?
Yeah.
Here's the crazy part. Think about it. How did AI knows our business pretty much better than us, and more importantly, can clearly articulate the steps. You want more clients? Remember this line, confused buyers don't buy. You want more people to sell with you, more people to buy with you? Clarify the process. There are studies to show that if you can teach or show somebody something, if they can understand it with you, you enhance your chances of them trusting you more. And of course, when people trust you, they want to work with you. So now that we have this outline, let's look at a couple more things. This is so simple, guys. So simple. Text content. How much text do you want? The default is concise, but if you're somebody that wants more text, you can choose extensive. I tend to work with concise because I'm a firm believer in brevity is best. People don't want to see a bunch of words on the screen. Plus, I'm not sitting there reading it step by step anyways. I'm using it more as like a guide for me. So I'll stick with concise, and then you can choose what color palettes you want. So if we just click here on view more, you'll be able to see all the different colors that Gamma has to offer. And we'll cancel this right here so that way you guys can see. So these are just some of the colors. If we click view more, we'll get more of them over here. But we won't mess with, actually, let's just for fun, let's mix that up. I always work with basic light. I think the basic dark is cool too. We can work with that theme. We'll select that theme today. And then down here, the different types of images that you want. I don't ever mess with this just because I don't feel like it's worth my time, right? If the juice is not worth the squeeze, I don't do it. So like, do I want watercolor photos, illustrate, or what the heck, just leave regular photos, that's fine. And then all we're gonna do is tap generate on the bottom here, and then watch how this works. Because now let's put this into play. I just posted, if you guys follow me on Instagram, you will have seen that I posted a screenshot of a text that I sent a buyer. The text that I sent a buyer said, Brandon and Stephanie, it was such a pleasure meeting you today at my open house. I included a video of me so that way I could introduce myself by way of my video and my digital business card. That was 5 weeks ago. My second post, so that was post number 1, and I put from communication to next post, contracts. And I posted the house that we just got under contract and the escrow company. They had sent a congratulatory message. We just opened up escrow, so I sent that to both of them. So that's what we did there. But my point in showing you this, let's just go back here. Now, when I have this, here's what I did. So I know you are still creating your presentations, but follow me. I met a couple, Brandon and Stephanie. They walked into my open house in the city of Ontario. How did I get this listing, by the way, in Ontario? It was a for sale by owner. So I got a for sale by owner listing in Ontario off of Vineyard and 6th Street, if you guys know where that's at. And we sold that property. We closed on June 18th. So that was just last week. Brandon and Stephanie showed up at my open house, and I engaged in conversation with them, and I asked them a series of questions. When they first walked through the front door, I tell every realtor this, if you are really good at open houses, if you just work open houses, in my opinion, and you didn't do anything else, you're not cold calling, you're not even door knocking or dropping off letters, you're not even bugging your family to work with you, you're just working open houses. If you do them well and efficiently, you can generate pretty efficiently over 6 figures each and every year. But you just need to know how to do them. So when they walk in, first thing that I do is I greet them at the door. Property's vacant. And I said, welcome. So how did you guys find today's open house? And they said, we found it on the internet. What website? And the husband says, I found it on Zillow. And then she says, he sent it over to me. And that's how I saw it, right? He sent it over to me. He's the one that found it. I'm like, all right, great, guys. Well, my name is John Reyes. I'm the real estate broker that's selling the home. Such a pleasure to meet you. Let me just point out a few key things. And this is a process that if you showed up and if you were to see me at any open house, it's the same exact thing that I do each and every time. Let me just point out a couple things about this home. Now, this home that we sold, there was a lot of deferred maintenance. It needed to be fixed up. So I wasn't going to sell any upgrades. So I sold the lot size. Not sure if you guys are aware, but we're a corner lot, 10,000 plus square foot lot. That's very desirable, especially in Ontario. Also, I don't know if you guys know the neighborhood, but I have family members and I have clients that live in the area and everybody loves it. And they're like, oh yeah, we noticed. It's just so quiet. The streets are big and everything. Here's the flyer of the property. Feel free to look around. And if you guys have any questions, that's what I'm here for. So now I let them do their thing. Once they're done doing their thing, these are the questions that I always ask. So what do you think? You ready to pack your bags and move on in? And as soon as I ask that, it's like natural. 8 out of 10 people just chuckle when you say that. And then, so of course they chuckle. They're like, oh, we don't know. We just started. So I'm like, so how long have you guys been looking for? They're like, well, we literally just started. We literally just started. So I said, okay. And I said, so besides this home, any other properties that have caught your attention? And they're like, well, there's a couple that we found online. And then I told them, besides the city of Ontario, are there any other surrounding cities or communities that you're open to? And then she says, the closer to LA, the better, but unfortunately, we just can't afford anything with where we want to live. We're from East Los Angeles. Remember I told you, a lot of people are moving to Ontario from LA, and they have no idea like what they're buying, right? In many instances. So they said, we're from East LA. And I said, well, let me ask you this. This is my closing question, because I don't want to just sit there and talk. They have things to do, so do I. So these are all questions to filter them. I said, let me just ask you this. Let's just say that you found what you believe to be is the ideal home at the ideal price. What's your time frame to make a move? And then as soon as I said that, then the wife takes the lead and says, well, I want to buy now, but I don't know if he's ready. So now that was a point of conversation. My point is this. I went directly from there to say, you know what I'd love to do? I'd love to shoot you over a text. And in my text, I'll include a few things. I'm going to include a video that gives you a breakdown on some of the key things that my team and I do in order to help our clients buy real estate in today's ever-changing market. And then second, I'll also send you a link to a series of videos that I created that walk you through the steps of what's involved in buying a home. Because I'm a firm believer that the more that you know, the more that you're equipped to make the right decision for you and your family. What's the best number to text you at? And then I just say, what's the best number to text you at? I just looked right at my phone, got his number, and then I said, and miss, your number as well, so I can include you both. Now she gave me her number, and your names again? Brandon and Stephanie. Perfect. So now what I did was this. I said, Brandon, Stephanie, check out what I just shared with you. And then if you guys like what I send, simply just send me a text back or give me a call. If I don't hear from you, then I'll follow up with you at the end of the open house just to get your thoughts on what I sent. Does 4 or 6 p.m. work best? My open house was ending at 3. 4 or 6 p.m. work best. And they're like, oh, you could call us right afterwards. I called them right afterwards. So now they had an opportunity to look at the content I shared. The next thing I booked was a homebuyer consultation. The homebuyer consultation was 100% ran on Gamma. My consultation was ran through Zoom. Here's how I did it. I just showed you the easy way to create a presentation. Here's what I did in order to create my presentation for them. So now when you're using ChatGPT, you can type here. You guys know that, right? Type here. Or typer here. You can type right there. But the other thing that you could do too is sometimes we're better speakers than we are talkers. So if that's the case, you can actually just select this option right here in order to talk directly to chat. So let's go ahead and talk. Hey ChatGPT, so I met a couple today, Brandon and Stephanie in the city of Ontario at my open house off of 6th and Vineyard. Now I want to conduct a home buyer consultation for them. So I want you to create an outline that I can copy and paste directly into Gamma. But I want to include information about me specifically, give some insight as to why they should consider me as their real estate agent, and also include my loan team, which is Close Fast, Close Now. You can pull any information that you'd like directly from the closefastclosenow.com website. Let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, give me the structured outline. Remember, I want to give them a step-by-step breakdown. Include things like contingencies, wants versus needs, down payment, earnest money deposit. I mean, you should know how to structure this, but again, make sure that it covers nearly every step that's involved in the home buying process. See, now what we're doing here is, let's see, stop listening to me, which it should be already, perfect. Here's my text. We're playing chess here, we're not playing checkers. At yesterday's AI event, the note was that 82% of real estate agents are using AI, but they're using it for property descriptions. So now let's go ahead and get the results. Remember, I asked for a structured outline. I said, sell me, include me. Like, I want to be sold as a real estate agent, right? I'll structure a gamma-ready buyer consultation deck, your credibility first, then the financing team advantage, then a clear step-by-step roadmap from goals to closing. I'll verify closefastclosenows.com public-facing language so the outline accurately reflects the brand. What is the AI doing? The AI is going to visit the actual website itself in order to pull the info. Now, we're having to be patient because ChatGPT is taking a long time. We say a long time. If it gives me the result in a minute, I mean, there's no way I could do that on my own, right?
Yeah, excuse me, Paul, wait, can I just ask you, when I'm putting in Gamma, it says continue with Google or Apple or email.
Yep, so I mentioned that earlier when you create your account. Sometimes now what a lot of services are doing is they're saying Google, Apple, being that you're using an iPhone, you can choose your Apple and it's gonna most likely do a facial recognition. If you have that built in, your account's gonna be created. I tend to do it either Apple, but majority of them I do are through Google because I know my Google password. I don't know my Apple password by heart. So I always have to text my team, what is my Apple password? Google, I know, that's on my phone. So now do you see this right here? Home buyer consultation for Brandon and Stephanie. Welcome, Brandon and Stephanie. Subtitle, step-by-step consultation. So this is exactly what I did for them. And timing wise, I did this while I was waiting to get them on the phone, and I didn't prepare early enough because I was at another appointment. So I was like, okay, I need to get this done quickly. ChatGPT, give me the outline. And I'm texting them my link so that way they can meet with me. Let's just go through here. We're almost done. Remember I asked you who could copy and paste? There's an easier way to copy this, so I'm showing you the hard way. We're almost done here. Now we're writing an offer. We're getting there. Earnest money deposit. Understanding contingencies. Now my consultation with the client was about an hour and a half. As soon as I got off the call, I got all of their loan documents. I knew they were serious the moment that they sent me all their loan documents. My client was at a 640 FICO. That's a husband. The wife has stellar 800 credit. I said, okay, you have 800 credit. You have a lower score. They're going FHA. Here's what I would do. Stephanie, what's the longest account you've had? B of A, I've had it forever since I was 18. Add him as an authorized signer. So less than 30 days, we were able to bump his score up to 684. So of course now he thinks like in the world of credit, we walk on water. All I did was have her add him as an authorized user to her account. Okay, we're at after closing. Look at this comment. Now this is a lot. Common buyer mistakes. Maybe I'm not going to use all of it, but oh, this is done. We're done. Okay, we have all the info here. 30 slides. Let's go to Gamma. Let's go to brand new on Gamma. Now, if I want to create a presentation, what do I tap? Create new AI. Perfect. Now, this time, we're not going to choose create from a one-line prompt. Paste in text because ChatGPT did the heavy lifting. I already copied the text, so now I just need to paste in the text. That's it. So now, I just come right on over here. It says type or paste in text here. Boom. Paste. Okay, so now I can go to either choose, generate an outline, summarize long text, or preserve. In this case, we'll preserve. We click on continue to prompt editor. Now this, normally it separates it by slide for me, but let's just see if Gamma is smart enough to break it up. It didn't break it up into multiple slides, but look at the top. You guys see what it says right here? Splitting up content. Split your cards. Yes, I want to split them. It's not, but that's okay. Let's just see what happens. So we'll want to change it back to my favorite, which is basic light. I think that's the first one in the top left corner. It's so popular that it usually is near the top. All we're looking for is the colors, that's it. All right, I can't find it, so we're gonna work
Search it right
with.
there.
Which one is it?
You can search it.
Oh, yeah, see, I told you, there's so many people a lot smarter than me. Basic, light, dude, bam, that's why you're the tech guy, marketing guy. So let's go with select theme, and then we're gonna click here where it says generate. Let's just see what it creates for us. Now, when you're using AI, it could be very simple to get a little frustrated with AI sometimes, because sometimes you're like, it didn't work the way that I wanted it to work. So I want to create this because all I'm doing is I'm following the sequence of steps, but the text is not it's not organized very well. So I want to see, is Gamma able to organize it for me? And if not, not a problem. Don't look at AI like a vending machine, meaning a vending machine, you put in $1 and you type in A1 and you get the water bottle. Sometimes you need some back and forth. So now while this is creating, this is generating, it's long, let it do its thing here. I'm gonna go back to ChatGPT real quick. So let's open up this. I'm gonna open up this so that way we can see what's happening here. I'm gonna come back to chat and I'm gonna say, I copied the text, but it did not separate the slides. Also, I feel as if it's a little, yep, little too text heavy. Summarize to 20 slides max. So you see a couple things that are happening. The right side, the presentation's being created. The left side, this is reorganizing the information for us. AI at like, it works, right? Like that's cool that you're seeing both sides of it. Now, if you guys find somebody that has a better presentation than you, what you can do is this, like my buddy from Denver, Colorado, he's really good at converting buyers. He's like the best in the country that I've seen. This guy, if he has a buyer, he puts them under contract so fast. Imagine, like if you took every qualified buyer that you have that's wanting to legitimately buy a house and you put them under contract within weeks, how much time and effort that saves you? Because how many times do you get lost with buyers and you're showing houses? When I went to Denver, I was out there and I sat with him and I said, you got to show me exactly what you do because your efficiency rate is ridiculous. We're his lender, so I see the amount of deals that he closes, and I also see how quickly we go from meeting the client, getting them pre-qualified, to him opening up escrow. It's not normal. And so now his presentation is really good. How did he make it? He made it with ChatGPT. How did he create the visuals? Through Gamma. So I told him, send me your Gamma presentation. He sent it to me, because remember, you can share it as a PDF. He sent me his Gamma presentation. I uploaded it to ChatGPT and I said, this is for my friend who's a broker in Denver. I need this modified for me as an agent in California. That's all I did. Copy and pasted the text. Now look at this here. Let's go back to this because this is still creating, but I don't know if you saw, what did ChatGPT do for us? ChatGPT reorganized the information. And look at how it set it up. So Gamma separates slides by the dashes. So when I told ChatGPT about the issue, what did ChatGPT say here? I said, I copied the text, but it did not separate the slides. Also, I feel like it's a little too text heavy, summarized to 20 texts. What does Chat say? In 7 seconds, use this version for Gamma, should split better with the dash dividers. So now remember I told you there's an easier way to copy? If ChatGPT gives you text, you could just always copy right here. So let's just copy here. Let's go back to Gamma. How many of you in here created a presentation while we were sitting in the class? Did anybody? Okay, a couple of you. Excellent. Now this is a very long presentation. It's still creating. Let's do this. While that's building out, I'm going to open up another one here, Gamma. I think it could be overwhelming for you as realtors. You're like, there's so many tools to use. What should I use? I would say use chat and Gamma. That's going to be a big push forward in comparison to most realtors. Let's come right here. We're going to paste in text one more time. This is a new text. Remember, it's a new updated text with chat. We're going to preserve. We're going to continue to
But
prompt.
you just don't preserve, but you just pick another option that.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's
see
go
what's
ahead.
gonna happen.
Let's go ahead and do that. So let's put it here.
Okay, so yeah, don't preserve, when you pick and preserve, don't preserve, just do the, I think there's 3 options when you go to Gamma,
Yeah, so let's start from scratch. Let's go right here to paste in text.
yes. And
Here's
then
the
you
text that we just copied.
And then when you go to the next option, let's just do a minimize or some sort.
So
I
this-
think that it will be too much also information for the seller or the buyer.
Yeah.
You're gonna give them, it's like overwhelming.
So here's where I like your thinking. For the sake of our example and time, I'm going through the process of showing you how to use it, but now this is where you start putting the pieces of the puzzle together. That might be a little too text heavy. What if I was to summarize it? Why don't we choose this option?
Yeah, summarize.
Summarize.
That's what I wanna see how it's.
Let's do that. Perfect. Continue to prompt editor. And then, look at this. Now the slides are all broken up. You see that?
Mhm.
How many slides does it show? 21. Let's go ahead and generate. So now we're going to compare the 2 presentations that we create. So this is a summarized version. The longer version is maybe still being created. Now this looks very text heavy. You guys agree? That's a lot. I don't know if I'd be overly excited to show that. I like this. That's better. So now let's go back to this one here.
Or maybe you just pick a few and then you just send them few, huh?
Well, you could, but I actually really like this one. I don't think there's anything wrong with this one at all.
The long one or the small one?
The small one. I like
Oh,
the smaller one.
Yeah.
Yep. Now, if you want, you can change the photos, okay? Like when I click on it here, edit with AI. Look at this. What do you want it to look like? If I had, let's just say, if I had a couple and I had a woman here, okay, well, that's not me. So then that's where I can go in and click and put a tall, dark, and handsome guy sitting on the opposite side of the couple. And then now I solved the problem. Now, when it's all said and done, here's how I presented it. It's still creating. It says right here, don't close this tab. It's generated. So when this is done, I send a Zoom link to my client. And my Zoom link, I just set up a URL, so it's always the same one, meeting.johndreyes.com. I think that looks a little professional, right? So I just send them this link. Join me on this consultation. So now they click on the link, I'm there talking to them, and then when the presentation's done, all I have to do is this. See in the top right corner where it says present? So I have them on the call, and I just tap on present, and now I can go right through the actual slide deck.
And you do that on Zoom.
Doing it right on Zoom. That's it.
Okay, so you're using, how are you connecting Gamma with ChatGPT?
Okay, great question. So ChatGPT is my favorite to give me the text so I can copy and paste into Gamma. Because ChatGPT is like the bigger thinker. Give me the structured outline, sell me as a realtor, sell my loan team, look at the website, pull the information that you need and want. And that's where ChatGPT will do that heavy lifting. I think the easiest way to think about it is I say it'll do the heavy lifting, right? And then I copy it, and then Gamma creates your presentations for you.
So you just copy and paste whatever chat.
That's it.
And pictures too, whatever pictures chat gives you, or just?
No, Gamma will give you the AI generated photos,
Okay.
but at any time, if you guys want to update the photos, like I could easily just update this photo and just put a photo of me, right? Look, I don't want to make this complicated because I didn't even think about this, but I just wanted to show you when you start understanding. Oh, you
I
made
did
one.
like cartoons.
Excellent.
Because I didn't hit photos, I
Yeah.
just had to do whatever it recommended, so mine was like little characters.
Perfect. You can use it for anything. I created a presentation for cigar wrappers. I wanted to learn more about cigar wrappers. ChatGPT created a presentation so I could study cigar wrappers. Has nothing to do with real estate, but that's like the whole point, right? But see, now I could actually come in and just download this image, upload it to ChatGPT, and tell ChatGPT, here's my headshot, give me a photo that will fit, and they'll customize the photo for you as well.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, so ChatGPT doesn't do, because I figured ChatGPT would do all of that.
All the photos?
Yeah, right?
So potentially it could. So like when I say potentially it could, let me show you this. I know we started a little late. I am on for an hour. I've already hit the hour, but if you guys just want to see like 2 more things, I'll just rush through this. I just spoke in Montrose, Colorado. I did an event for the board and I did something specific for them. I was gonna save this for another time so we can go through it as an example with everybody. But let me see if I can just pull it up for you guys right now. Just so you can kind of see, this is why I always come back to ChatGPT. So the speaker before me, she was like, I don't even know who uses ChatGPT. I'm all about Claude, like pretty much ChatGPT's bad. This is my new listing that hit the market in Urupa Valley yesterday. This is a photo that my photographer gave me. I uploaded it to ChatGPT. I told ChatGPT, I need a money shot for the MLS. Enhance the photo, maintain the integrity of the image. Don't change pretty much anything other than enhancing it. And look at the visual difference.
Looks pretty.
Mhm.
Oh, wow, yeah, it does.
And then I said, I need a twilight image. I upload the original photo.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, that's
Mhm.
where they're getting those pictures on the MLS.
Yeah. I mean, how much did we used to have to pay for this back in the day, right? And so that's why I have my MLS photo editing class just on that. ChatGPT created this too. ChatGPT created this for me as well. Yes.
I had an agent I work with who was selling a house that was so, the color was just not favorable. And it wasn't getting a lot of traction. So we changed the color and showed what it could be. And it worked
Oh yeah.
for modern color.
Well,
It's like
So,
catfishing on homes.
I was able to.
They pull up, they're like,
I double ended this transaction right here.
but this is their own one.
So this is the house that I sold in Ontario. And the couple who bought it, they just got married. The husband has a background in construction. The wife does not. This is a photo from the MLS. So when I'm showing them the house, the husband's telling the wife, this is what we can do. She literally has her hands in her hair, in her hair like this with her head down, and she's like, Joey, I just don't get it. I don't get it. She's frustrated. He's trying to say, like, we could fix this ourselves. Like, let's just buy it. So then I took the photo from the MLS, uploaded it to ChatGPT, and here's exactly what I said. So look at this. I said, update this house. I want white shaker cabinets, white quartz countertops. I want laminate, light colored laminate flooring throughout. And then give me some color in the backsplash to bring it all together. This was when I was there with the client.
Wow.
So now I had my cell phone. So I'm showing them on my cell phone. I was like, well, here's an example just to kind of show you what could be done. And then my clients, they were like, they live there right now. They're the ones that bought the house. So it was a lead that they said, we found your house on Redfin. We wanted to talk directly to the listing agent. They showed up at the house and then we put the whole deal together. So that was a client of mine. Same story. You know how I told you that the seller was very adamant. I have a 40+ year relationship with a realtor and he will be selling this house. Well, that's the one right there. This is another house that I sold. The client wanted $1 million for this house. I showed them what it could potentially look like. This is the one that just referred me that deal in Urupa Valley, the one that I was just telling you guys about. You guys probably saw this house. It's right there on 6th Street if you just drive down on 6th. So I was really interested in buying this house. And I should have, all of us should have had this. I walked by this and I saw the guy out there cleaning this house. And I told my wife when we were walking, I think they're going to sell that house. Next thing I know, it's on the market. I looked at my phone that date when I talked to the realtor because I know her and I was like, hey, I asked her about it. When did this guy connect with you? She said, oh, it was an online lead. I had actually ordered a title report before it even hit the market. I was so damn mad. But this is just because we were interested in buying it.
So pretty.
Yeah.
The ChatGPT, this is the thing, when we're here at these events, I just want to strongly encourage you just to try it, just to go through the motions, but take the time because it's so important that you can't say, I'm busy, I got calls, I got kids. No, set the time aside. So that way you force yourself to say, okay, let me run those 4 prompts for a listing. I don't have a listing, not a problem, try your own home, just so you can see how it works. Take the 4 prompts, organize the information, run it through Gamma. If you want to create an account with Manage, you can do that as well. Try that, just so that way you can create the slide deck.
I didn't mention this and maybe missed the details, that do you also post the interview like this in the MLS or just in your social media?
Yeah, just through my clients or like through social. Because when I post things like this too, people get excited about it and they'll often hit me up about it. So I got more people that have reached out to me just to get insight on, we're thinking about fixing up the house because we want to sell, and those are the calls we want. I want to call before they're genuinely interested in listing, because at that time they may have already called somebody else too. So I'm like, oh, I got a background in this. Let me advise you. Let me point you in the right direction. So
Yes. Amazing.
remember, we heard that line before, like we're playing chess, not checkers. It's just thinking about how do we get moves ahead. That's really what it is.
That was done through, Gamma?
This was actually ChatGPT. Yeah. This is one more thing I'll just kind of show you that I created. Saturday, I went to the winery. And when I went to the winery, I have a client that, listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. Every quarter, I create a video. How do I create the video? I go to RPR and I run a report, a general report for the market. I upload the report to ChatGPT and I say, give me about 120 word script that I could read in first person so I can create a video. Nothing fancy. The video is meant just to stay top of mind with my clients, my network. So I created these videos. I send them out every quarter and I get a call from my seller. My client, actually, I haven't talked to this couple in 3 years. The husband is an officer here for Upland PD. His wife is a teacher for Chino Hills. And the wife said to me, every time you sent a video, I was always looking forward to your video. Like I would tell my husband, I was always looking forward to your video, because I knew when we first bought this house in Jurupa Valley, this was not going to be our forever home. I knew we were going to sell. It was just a matter of when. So when they called me, it was literally phone call. Yeah, perfect. I'll get the agreement sent over to you. Before I could even call them to go over it, they're like, John, we already signed. No discussion about comp, nothing. It was like, we're ready to go. I just showed them my very first house in Upland. I just showed them one house this last weekend, and we already wrote an offer for $1.1 million. Between the 2 sources of business, it'll be about $1.8+ million. But how did it come about? Because of the fact that I created a video, and then I would text it to my database in a strategic basis 4 times a year.
Are you going to be teaching us these prompts in a future class?
So as long as I'm here, I have so much I mean, literally, we could do a 5-hour class if you wanted to. And so, of course, we're breaking it up into bite-sized pieces. Yeah.
What do you think of the Meta glasses?
So
Because I just got those.
Okay,
Yeah.
The broker that's a great friend of mine that we actually share a birthday, we went and hung out at the winery this weekend together. She was wearing them. And it's so
Yeah.
funny because she's like, I don't even know how to turn them on. So I really
Right?
I really want them, but for somebody like me, I took forever to buy the first iPad because I always felt like as soon as I buy one, then they're gonna come out with the next
It's something
version.
else.
So
They're
I'm always
actually
at,
really easy to use, huh? Like the basics are easy.
it's like the fear of me just not wanting to get stuck behind the 8 ball. So then I don't end up buying them. But yeah, I really want to.
Yeah, okay.
I
yeah.
want to, especially for the events that I do. I think it would be cool just to have the crowd
Just a
perspective.
video and then edit the footage.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay.
And then also I'd like to record some real life listing presentations that I do too.
Interactions and things.
Because sometimes I'm there and I'm just like, oh, if I had this on
Yeah.
content, this would be so freaking good. Yeah.
Also, when you're
the answer.
Oh, so are we going to be
Oh,
learning
yes,
that in the
so-
future?
yeah. Got sidetracked. So as long as I'm here with you guys, then my goal is to make sure that I could just always bring more stuff. Like this is the last thing I wanted to show you. So the answer to that is yes. My client, this is the one that was looking at houses this last weekend. So she says to me, John, we're gonna go look at houses. and she sends me the addresses, so they're going on their own. I'm in an Uber going down to the wineries. I took the links that they sent me from Zillow, uploaded them to ChatGPT, and I talked, just like I showed you. ChatGPT, my clients are heading out to some open houses. Here's what I need. I need you to create an image for me that gives me a side-by-side comparison for 3 listings. I want you to visit the website, pull the main money shot, include it in my image. Here's a scenario, 6.25% interest rate on a VA loan. They have to pay a funding fee. ChatGPT knows the funding fee because it's a calculated percentage. Here's how much money they're putting down. And I created this all while I was in the car. I downloaded the image, I sent it to my client, and she was like, this is so cool because now I'm actually giving them the payment estimate based off of their exact scenario. I stole this from that broker I told you in Colorado. He does not show a house without having something like this. Every house he shows, this is already done. So he's giving it to his client as they're going through the house. And I'm like, that's so brilliant because it just makes it more real for them.
Okay, so that was a really long prompt. Can you share that with us?
So what I'll tell you is this, it's not about memorization of prompts as much as it is understanding the prompt. What did I say? Here's the scenario. I want a comparison. They're gonna look at these 3 properties. Here are the links. And the reason I say that is because when I spoke in Washington, DC, like a couple months ago, there was somebody from corporate, Compass International Holdings, who said this. Because I was there focusing on giving the prompts. And he's like, guys, it's not about the prompts. It's about the understanding. It's the logic because John's giving you a prompt, but if you understand where he's going, you can get there as well.
Right, but that prompt was more from a lender,
Correct.
a brain.
Mhm.
I don't have to know to
Yeah.
ask for funding fee, you know.
Yeah, so I don't even know if you would, from a realtor's perspective, because you don't want to quote rates, right? So what I would say is, connect with your lender on that. I would have no problem giving it to you. What I'll do is I'll do a voice dictation on it.
Okay.
And then, Jennifer, what's the easiest way for me if I wanted to just give info to maybe an email to you and then you can shoot it out to the squad?
Yeah, to Justin,
Yeah,
he'll
just
blast
shoot it
it
to you.
to everybody, yeah.
Yeah, because then I can,
Take it now, would you
Yeah.
mind just sharing? We could.
It's also video, I think, and then we can play it.
I'll make it real simple. I'll clean it up for you. I think that would be easier. Because there's a lot of what we went through today too, but I'll do a recap for you so that way you can actually have something physically tangible as well.
Do you use ChatGPT, Alia, like okay, because I was like, you're pretty savvy with stuff and I could imagine you talking all day to it and getting
I use it
data.
a lot for.
Yeah, yeah,
But
okay.
AI is a lot of commands.
Mhm.
Like if you know how to command AI, it gives you really what you want. It's about how to know how to talk to it again.
This is one other thing that I'll give Justin, check this out. So this is an AI Accelerators playbook and I have content in here. This has so many prompts. So this says like how to use the playbook, brand building, video scripts, home buyer education. Remember I told
That
you
is cool.
I send out video
Yeah.
scripts to my client. I have a series of 8 videos where I go through the buyer selling process and the buying process and the selling process, 8 videos each. Those are all written with AI. So I'll give you this as well. This is given to clients when they sign up with our program. But I was just thinking, just to make it simple and easy, Justin, I'll shoot it over your way. And just don't give it to any agent that's not a part of the group, okay? If they're part of the group, that's fine. But if they're not part of your team, like don't send it to your friend who's working with Realty One down the street or something.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'll get you that as well. So yeah, I got a few things to get you, but that's where yesterday the question was when one of the speakers said, the amount of agents using AI, it's like 8 out of 10 right now. But the percentage that can truly say my business has changed because of AI is estimated to be about 5%. And
But that's gonna grow within 5 to 10 years.
oh,
That's gonna grow big time.
I was talking to a broker this morning and I told her in the next 2 years, I'm really excited and scared to see like where it's gonna be. Do you guys remember RoboCop in the 80s? Do you remember when the officer was shot and then they're selling his house? Do you remember when people were walking through the front door, what would happen? It's so crazy to kind of look at it now. But if you guys go back and watch the movie, the house is now for sale. So, now when he's RoboCop, he goes into the house and as soon as he walks in, a video starts. And it's a realtor who's selling the property automatically on video. Then he walks into another room and now he's selling the master bathroom. That was done in the 80s. So when I was landed in San Jose yesterday, my first time I communicated with one of those robots. You guys know those, like the real one that moves around and everything. It was there on display and they had a microphone and it was like, you can go up and interact with the robot. So I went up and I was like, okay, I just landed. It's really early in the morning. I got an appointment and I'm really hungry. I said, I want to find a restaurant that has good coffee. Where should I go? And then the robot's actually not only telling me, it's pointing which way I should go. I'm like, that's freaking weird. And then all these people were surrounding, just everybody wanted to talk to the robot.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
So
crazy.
they have 2 robots on video that they came up with that are they're doing this thing where they're like they made a bed. So 2 robots together made a bed in 2 minutes. So that's actually really cool too. As soon as Optimus is available, I think it's Optimus 3. They're planning on selling them. I'm gonna buy one. Maybe I'll call the news. Hey, come on out, Ontario guy as Optimus robot. Yeah, we have no kids and we have no animals, and I tell my wife all the time, like, I have these expectations of our house. Like, I want it to look like a staged home every time. And so I know it's a lot of pressure on her, but at the same time, I'm like, we'll just get the robot, make our life so much easier. Are you gonna see them? Yeah.
I wonder if it cleans and does everything, it cooks.
Okay. Yeah. Beautiful. Nice. Okay, let's have a sidebar conversation. All right, I don't want to take up any more of your time because you guys all got things to do.
Thank you.
Little by little, we'll be chipping away at
Yeah.
it. Then next thing you know, you're going to be doing the trainings for the local board.
With the new robot. Yay.